Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and kind of give you an update on my WWE 2K game collection. Now I'm not going to count the games that came before it, like the SmackDown versus Raws and all that, because I've shown you those previously, and they kind of run under their own, I guess you could say their own name and everything. I'm also not going to do the 12 and the 13. If you will, because I think that was before before 2K took over and everything. So I'm just gonna count it, as 2K only and everything. So I'm just letting you know that in advance. Like I said, I know some of you might think, well, what about the other games you have? Like I said, I can count them if I want to, but again, they kind of feel like they're their own separate. They're their own separate entity, if you will, including the brief time we went from 12 and 13. That was still under the THQ banner, and all that happened was 2K came in and they just added the 2K to it, just like they would add 2K to a lot of other things they would license, like NBA, NHL, and all that. They would be like, it's 2K this, it's 2K that. So basically, that's all they did. They just added the 2K before the number. So I know that might sound a little convoluted, a little weird, but that's just how I want to look at it. So without further ado, let's take a look at the updated collection. And we're going to start with the oldest one out of this, the one that basically started under the 2K banner. And this is how long 2K has had the license, believe it or not. And that is WWE 2K14. This was the last one I ever got on the 360 when it came out. It is basically one of those two-sided ones, the one of those flip covers, if you will. Because on this side you have The Rock, and then if you want to flip it over, you have Daniel Bryan. Right there. So you can have it either way. You can have it with The Rock on there, or you can have it with Bryan Danielson. So that was basically how they released and presented 2K14, and basically how they began their partnership with WWE, as up and down as it's been. But yeah, this was the last one. Like I said, I bought on the. This is the last one I bought on the Xbox 360, as far as wrestling games go on that system. So this was the last one I bought. Then the next one was the first of many that I bought on the PlayStation 4. And this was the first one I bought on the PlayStation 4 when I got it. I think essentially it was one of the first games, literally around the same time I bought it. And I did this, of course, I was working out, and I did this because, of course, just like with 14, I was working at Walmart and everything, so I decided I'm going to get myself a game and everything. And 15 was the same thing, but I also decided, hey, if I'm going to get a new system, I'm going to get some new games with it. And 15 was one of the first games I got with it. And here it is right here. This is WWE 2K15, the first one I got on the PlayStation 4, the first of many. And the difference that you could tell between it and I think the 360 release is basically the fact that, there is no flip cover or anything. And of course you had a code on here. I think I've already redeemed that code as well. So I've redeemed that code already, I believe. But yeah, that's what I did there. And yeah, you could tell just how old this is just by all that. And that's the one thing about these games too. They're kind of like time capsules, if you will, kind of showing you what was at that time. But yeah, that's WWE 2K15. That was the first one I got with the PS5, if you will. I mean PS4, I should say. PS4, sorry. The second one I got was WWE 2K16 on the PS4, and of course, got a collector card with it and everything. That's pretty cool. And you can definitely again tell how old it is because you see one of the people advertised it, one of the superstars. It's Saraya Page, if you will. That's pretty nice. So yeah, you kind of see how old how old this is. Like I said, it's like a virtual time capsule. As a, that you can go look through and everything. So yeah, 2K15 I should say, 2K16 I should say, right there. And next up, we have 2K17. There you go. And again, you can tell how old, these games are, like what time frame they were released in, because you have Brock Lesnar on the cover here, and right now his status is questionable in WWE because of what's been going on in the whole Vince McMahon situation. But you look on the cover, and there's Jon Moxley as Dean Ambrose and everything. So again, it tells you how old these games are and what time frame they were released in. So yeah, I got 2K17. Then next up, we have 2K18. Right here, we have 2K18. And again, you look on the back, you see Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks on there. Again, the one thing about these kind of games, and it doesn't matter if it's WWE games or NFL games, NBA games, they're like a time capsule. You go back and play them, and you realize that these games were released, if you will, distributed at a time where pretty much this person now that's in AEW was once part of them. So, yeah, yeah, it's kind of how big of a time capsule it is throughout. But again, there it is right there. Really nice to have the game and everything, like I said, in the collection. And I bought this, like I said, back when it came out. Another thing, though, about these, and I'll get into it in a little bit. And then next up, we have 2K19 with AJ Styles on the cover, who I've met in person and everything. And then I think you see Daniel Bryan right there as well. So that's pretty cool. And I think they had something back here. A lot of these things always have like, QR codes and stuff to put in there, or to put into your games. And oh, by the way, apparently 2K, my newest 2K game, apparently news went around that it also has a QR code in there for the Wyatt 6. I'm thinking, okay, how is that possible? You never know. But anyway, 2K19, got that when it came out. And then, of course, despite its infamy, if you will, because of its glitchiness and unfinishedness, I also got 2K20. Got 2K20 here. So there we go. And again, you can tell when it was released because you got Brock's image there. But we got Roman and Becky on the cover. So yeah, and Becky's still part of the company. She'll still be part of them. There's no doubt. Because honestly, I think she's just going to keep an eye out, see, okay, let's see what happens if she wants to go or lead. She'll want to see, okay, where are you going? If you're going in this direction, I might decide to try it out. You never know. But if you go in this direction, maybe I'll just stick where I know I'm going to be okay financially and everything. So here we have 2K20 though. 2K20, really nice to have. Then here we have 2K22. Now I know you might say, well, what happened? Now I know some of you that may have not been paying attention, you might ask yourself, well, what happened to 2K21? There was no 2K21 due to the fact that we were going through a global pandemic at that time, and the fact that 2K got so much backlash for the unreadiness of this game that they wanted to take their time and release this in the year that it's advertised for. Because the one thing about a lot of these games that I showed you previously, they always came out the year before. So like 2K20 came out in 2019, 19, 18, 18, 17, 17, 16, what is it? 17, 16, what else do I have here? Okay, so like I said, this was like 2019, 2018, 17. I want to make sure I get this right. 17, 16, 15, and 14. So they always came out like the year prior, just like what Madden would do with some of their games. You know, they would label them for the the following year, I should say. You know, instead of the year they would come out. And, you know, that's kind of what 2K did here. And they would do that with a lot of the properties they would license as well. They would do it with NBA, NFL as well. So this was the first one, what I'm trying to get at, this was the first one that actually, you know, 2K decided, you know what, it's called 22, let's just release it in 22, and that's what they did. And again, they did it because they wanted to take time on working on it to ensure they wouldn't get the kind of backlash they got prior with 2K20, and so far, so good. They're realizing that, okay, we need to take our time, we have a year to release, and everything, we don't need to be in a rush. Because I guarantee you, they start working on the newer games, not just like, you know, this one and the one that followed and the one that followed that one, you know, but they start working on like the one that comes out 2 years prior or 2 years later, sort of like towards the end of this one, like in the later stage of this one before the next year's one comes out. I guarantee you that's what they do. But here we have, like I say, 2K22, which I got into in 2022. Then, of course, last year, been playing this. Still got to finish it up a little bit because the one I'm about to show you still got a lot of building to do with that. But here we have 2K23, 2K23, if you will, which is pretty cool. Been playing that a lot lately too. Like I said, still going to be playing it because of the fact that I have a lot more rebuilding with the one I'm about to show you, which is the one I got yesterday. I ordered through Amazon. And it's the first wrestling game on my PS5, 2K24. It took me a lot later to get it because usually I try to get this maybe about a few weeks after and all that, but I had to wait for unemployment and everything and make sure things were balanced out. And of course, I got things going on with my dad, you know, have to, you know, save up money to see him, save up money for bills, you know, and all that. So I took the opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to get it while I can and then focus on the other things that need to be taken care of. So here we have, like I said, 2K24, PS5. I uploaded it yesterday installed it, I should say, onto my PS5 yesterday and everything. And of course, as you saw here on my YouTube channel initially, I did play my first game and I downloaded my first two characters. Of course, Luna from Hell of a Boss and Charlie from Has Been Hotel. So hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, here we have 2K24 on the PS5. So yeah, that is, if I can hold them up all correctly, you know, hold them up straight. That is the entire WWE 2K collection. Again, I didn't count the ones that came previously, like, you know, 12 and 13, because they were still in the THQ banner. Same with the SmackDown vs. Raw. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Comment down below. Love to hear your opinions on this. Do you have all these 2K games up to date now? Do you have them physically or digitally? Let me know. Love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later.